Hello there, YouTube. Welcome to this week's love stream. As you can tell, I've got my love necklace on here, you can maybe see. And I'm wearing red, the colour of love, the colour of passion, because we're still flowing in the Valentine's Day love. Now, I'm just going to pop on a couple of places and let people know that I'm here, that I'm live, just to see if we can bring them on, because some of you that know me, that follow this channel and have followed me for a while, know that I, at this time on a Sunday evening, I usually used to go live on my Soul Family Facebook group, and I did that for many years. Well, I did it in various different guises, and we've always evolved how the messages get sent out, how they get shared. And my unseen team, my Soul Family guides, have very kindly been inviting me to come onto YouTube lately, and you may have seen some of my YouTube streams already. However, I do want to, keep the Soul Family involved and my fans involved, if you like, my loyal followers. So I am going to, if I can, let them know that I'm here. So let's just do that now. As I say, if I can do that. So let's see what's quickest way to do that. So anyway, whilst I'm doing that, I will introduce myself as well to those of you who don't know me, because as I say, there's quite a few of you who don't know me, aren't familiar, have just found me. Your teams have brought you to me. There's no mistake that you've found me at this time. And I'm saying at this time, whenever that is. It might be on the 15th of February, 2026. It might be beyond that. It might be tomorrow. It might be this week. It might be next year. It can be whenever you find me. It's no accident. It's no mistake. Your team have brought you here. Your unseen team, as I like to call them, unseen team, Soul Family, your guides. We use these terms interchangeably. They've brought you here because you're meant to receive this message via me. And you will have been receiving other messages, and so you've followed your nudges, you've followed your guidance, and you've found me here. So let me just see if I can briefly send a message, briefly broadcast a little transmission on some other channels, other platforms, to let people know that I'm here. And that's what happens when you're like me. Neurodevelopmental, a bit chaotic, and a bit brilliant also, because that's what I'm here to do. So I will say that for those of you, as I say, that that have just found me or are not familiar with me, then I don't think this is going to work, actually. Oh, no, maybe it is. I shouldn't try to multitask, should I? That's clearly not right. Okay. No, I don't think that's going to work. Let's leave it for now and just trust the universe that it will find me. You guys will find me, because I'm just going to distract myself completely, and we don't want to do that. So what I do want to do is introduce myself to those of you that have found me, that maybe haven't met me before. So my name's Gwen from Living Your Best Life Coaching. Oh, I see there's somebody watching, so that's good. I'll keep an eye in the comments, and we'll see who that is in a wee second. So as I say, my name's Gwen from Living Your Best Life Coaching, and I worked in financial services for many, many years. I'm a soul purpose empowerment coach, a soul purpose activator and empowerment coach for primarily women like me, brilliant people like me who possibly have ADHD, are neurodevelopmental, are, as I say, sometimes a bit chaotic. You might have, you might or might not know that you are like this. You might have an inkling that you're like this. You might think that other people in your family, your friends, your network are like this, and that you're not. Chances are, if you're watching me, you either have an interest in this is you, or you know somebody very close to you who is. And what I've discovered through my challenges, through my journey, throughout my life, is that I am highly sensitive. Hi, Marie. I was wondering if it was you, and it's 8:08 p.m. So of course it is you. So maybe if you've got your angel numbers book, we should look at that. In fact, I've got mine here. So I'm stumbling away through an introduction here. So let's just have a look at the angel numbers and let's get into the flow. And then I can go back and tell those others who will come and find me. I was logged on via my TV, but quickly realised couldn't do chat. It's funny, I was watching YouTube on my TV earlier on, and I do have ambitions to be on TV, so thanks for trying to put me on TV. You can watch the replay on TV, but yeah, you can't do chat on there, so that's a good point. So thank you for that. So 8:08, so let's bring ourselves into the room, and thank you for doing that. And the unseen team, the guides are saying thank you for that as well, because I was getting a little bit all over the place trying to find people and let them know that I was here. And then as long as I've got one person to chat to, I'm fine. I can relax and would trust everybody else will either come and find me or they'll get the messages afterwards. So 0808 says, and this is from our trusty Angel Numbers book by Kyle Gray. Trust that God is helping you align with the divine plan. And you can put your hand on your heart when you're watching this and join in with me, or just, listen along. And breathe. So before we do this, let's just close our eyes for a second and do a little nervous system reset, a little realignment. So just breathing in and holding it there, and then breathing in a little bit more. And with that, you're telling your brain, you can say this out loud in your mind along with me, it's safe to be here. It is safe for my voice to be heard. And I'm getting a yes for that. Trust that everyone who's meant to hear this message, and for all of you, if you have messages you want to send, you want to share a mission that you have, a mission, a passion, a project that you're here to share, because if you follow me, you have a soul purpose that you've either activated or you want to activate. And within that, we all have some fears, some beliefs, some limiting beliefs, and give me a yes for that, some judgment, some self-judgment, and that causes self-sabotage when we try to do this. So you can just say to yourself, as I say, I am safe. You can put one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And just tuning into coherence, tuning into truth. As you let go, as you let out. And again, breathing in deeply. And as you breathe out, just letting go. And leaning into that safety, leaning into the love that's flowing to you from the love stream. So with that, let's get the message. Or the first message, I should say. And it says, trust that God is helping you align with the divine plan, which will take your intentions into consideration, as well as what is best for your soul's expansion. And that's why we're here. We're here to learn what is best for our soul's expansion in this lifetime. And for some of us, we learn that quite early on, and we're able to hold on to that. For some of us, like me, I'm now 58, and I've been on this journey, this path, probably for about 10 years consciously. I give my yes for that. I'm not great at remembering exact numbers, exact time, but I am fantastic with time. I'm a mistress, a master of non-linear time, because, as I say, I am neurodevelopmental, and I didn't know that for a long time. I didn't know that during my 37-year corporate career. Thank you for the hearts. I only discovered it about a year ago, to be perfectly honest. Working with clients, I've been doing this sort of work in various guises, as I say, for many years, and formally since I got redundancy from my previous job, and recognised the gift in that, and that, like, this is my time to do what I want to do, to follow my purpose. And it's not been easy. It's been a challenge, and still is at times, but it's getting easier and easier. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to, on this journey. That's why I'm here on this live to share that with you. And as I say, that's very much part of my soul purpose. And I'm very much coming to know more and more what my soul purpose is. And more as I do that, and as I release those limiting beliefs, as I do the energy work that I do, as I, lean into that more and more, as I make more space for me, as I relax. And the message for me this year is very much about doing more by doing less, if you know what I mean. So it's, yes, I'm being more and I'm stepping into my gifts more and more. And actually I'm stepping into, want to say higher echelons. I'm becoming more, I can get a yes for that, becoming more and more of a clear channel for different types of guides and different types of ways. So I have got cards here. For those of you who are looking for your messages, I have got the cards here. I just want to share. We always share a love stream. We always share a thought of the day, if you like, a topic of the day. And we also have a battle between our human and our divine, and that's really what we're talking about. So in life, we, before we come to earth, we our higher self our higher selves and us, and we sign a soul contract, and we agree, God and your higher self and yourself sit down basically and say, right, going into this physical lifetime, what I'd really love to learn is such and such. I really know that I've been training for thousands of years in non-physical. I'm ready. I'm good to go. I'm ready for change. I'd give me a yes for that. I'm ready for this physical life, and I want to go and do it. And this is what I want to learn. This is what I want to teach. This is what I want to share. And so, hit me with it. Give me all the lessons. Give me all the stuff that these physical humans need to know. Give me some of these challenges, and I'm really special, so give me some extra special challenges, and we layer it on, we lay it on thick, and we're like, yeah, where do I sign? Yep, sign on the dotted line. I'm good to go, and I'm here to, we want to teach love. We want to teach people how to live this physical life, and we want to teach how to connect. Like that's for myself anyway, and we've got something that we really want to teach. So, what they also gave me, so I've got a few cards here that you guys have pulled, or you may have pulled if you've seen this already. And if you haven't seen seen the post before with the cards, there's pairs of cards here there's 6 pairs of cards here. So choose a number or numbers between 1 and 6 as I'm telling you this, and then you can get your messages, and you'll know your messages when you hear them and see them as well. So the card that I pulled for myself earlier on, I pulled a couple of cards for myself today, and I used the Lightseers Tarot deck. So I use that as a kind of oracle, if you like, for getting an archetype for the day or getting a message for the day. And actually, as I was watching someone else on YouTube earlier on, she was saying, like, why don't we all pull a card? So I pulled this card, and I haven't really looked at it in depth, and it's the Two of Cups. So you can see here, it's a beautiful couple holding hands there, or two different people holding hands, because you can see there's different, skin colours there. And also they've got 2 cups, and those cups are full of what I would say is spectrum energy. So I'm an energetic master in Enigma, Colour, Light and Sound. And so some of you will be familiar with energy work, will be familiar with different modalities, particularly Reiki. A lot of people train in Reiki, and that's like your gateway entry level into energetic work, into energy healing and so on. And there's all sorts of different modalities that people follow. And for me, as I say, I've been doing energy work, started off with Reiki, with meditation, and I was doing a lot of those things and learning those whilst I was still in my corporate job. They were my escape plan, if you like. And then I went on to do the believe releasing process. I'm at leading edge. I was at leading edge of that, and one of a number of probably about 30 or so of us in the world who were like the first on leading edge to become believe releasing practitioners, and then going on to do other things, and Enigma is part of that. And then what we all do is we learn all these different modalities, and you'll be the same if you're drawn to watch this live or this replay, this love stream. You'll have had things that you've learned throughout your life that you've maybe been like, oh, I really want to learn that thing, or I want to do this course, or I want to teach this and share this. And I'm really drawn to, we're natural teachers and healers, if you like. And so we're drawn to be in partnership with the divine in some way. And that's just one of the ways that I do it. And what we also do is we we pull together all of our different modalities, all the different things that we learn, and we make them our own. We do it in partnership with the divine, basically, in partnership with universe, source, love, God, whatever you want to call it, joy. You do that in partnership with them, and that's your bigger mission, if you like, is to be of service to source, to be of service to love. And then how you do that mission, how you fulfill that mission, how you activate your soul purpose, and how you, as I say, fulfill that. And it's always got to be something that fulfills you, and that will change, that will evolve. So, and a lot of you that are like me, you have to have something that you make your own, that is your unique combination. So you'll have a bit, it's like having a cauldron and having a bit of this, a dash of that, some of this, a soupçon of so and so, a large part of this, and largely brewed from your own energy. So that's kind of what's going on and being depicted in these two cups, and the energies that are being mixed there with us, with source, with love, and all of that. So let's have a little look at the book, because it's the Two of Cups, and cups are all about emotions. And so as highly sensitive people, as people who have often suffered from rejection sensitivity dysphoria, and that's a term I didn't even know until this time last year. And then when I became aware of it, I was like, oh my God, this makes sense of my whole life. And it also makes sense of why I'm good at what I do, because the sensitivity, the tears, the floods of emotions that I'm saying I used to get, I still get flooded with emotion. On Friday night, you were probably there on Friday night, Marie, over in the Soul Family Facebook group, where we were doing a live, and I was doing some readings, and we were chatting about the Firehorse energy and what's happening, what's been happening, particularly over the last 6 months or so. And you and I are going to chat about that. So we'll be doing a live here, or a recording here on YouTube shortly, talking about your story. But we were talking about what everybody's been through, and what we're shedding, and what we're taking into 2026, which again we're going to be talking about through these cards. And because the Lunar New Year starts on Tuesday, I think it is now, isn't it, the 17th? And so brain, bring back to me where I was going with that. Yes, so we were talking to one of the ladies in there who's recently lost her mother, and we were talking about this subject. And then I got quite emotional as I was talking to her. And partly that is my emotion, because I was doing this work, as I say, for a while. And then when my mum got ill, and my mum, excuse me, had cancer, and it was very advanced by the time that we, time it came into our awareness, she only had a few weeks to live, although we didn't know that at the time. And I realised, and I've realised more and more lately, that that was part of our soul contract. So it was part of mine to be doing the work I was doing, to be doing the real soul purpose that I was here for, the real mission that I came here for. And that at that time, I was there. When you get emotional, I do too. Well, that's it, because we are highly sensitive, and we pick up on each other's emotions, and we can feel them and embody them. And that's why we are mediums. That's why we are creators. That's why, we inspire others, and we can, lead a movement. We can do these sort of things because people can feel that from us, and we feel it from them. And we're in partnership in that way as well. So as I was saying, when my mum died and when she passed over, because I had been on this spiritual journey, which we didn't agree about, to be quite honest, we sort of very very briefly touched on it, if you like. We very kind of we skirted around it, let's say, because my mum was like, well, that's that spiritual stuff that you do, and I don't believe in that, because she was very much actually it's ironic now, if you like, because it is God's love. But at the time, I was very much like, oh, I'm spiritual, not religious, although I had a religious upbringing. I was in the Sunday school and the choir and all these sort of things. And my mum, I actually live across, I moved house a couple of years ago, and I actually live directly across the road from the church where I went to when I was young. And also my dad was an elder in there, and my mum went every week. And, when my mum was dying, I didn't really intend to share this, but this is what I'm getting to share. This is what I'm being called to share. So, take a little drink of water. Thank you. And it's only love. When I get the emotions as well, it is love, and that's it. It's that divine love and that universal love that wants to come through as well. So just reminding myself of that as well. Thank you. So I heard her saying she didn't say this directly to me, but she did say directly to me that she was ready to go. Just letting the emotions flow. It's all good. It's all love. And I heard her say to one of the nurses, one of the Stratcairn hospice nurses that was looking after her at home, that she'd been asking God to take her and he wasn't listening. But he was listening. So he wants me to share this as well. That he was listening and that we were doing it in partnership. So never be judgmental or apologetic for your emotions, because it's these emotions that make us who we are, and it's these emotions that make us brilliant at being exactly who we are, at doing what we came here to do, and it's sharing that love and sharing that mission and sharing that purpose in whatever way you want to do it. So so that's a message about the partnership that I didn't need to look at the book for that. I just needed to share it from my heart. So and really what this card is saying, I thrive in partnerships and my heart leaps with joy when I connect. And that's it. My heart does leap with joy. And you might be thinking, she's got tears streaming down her face. And that's joy, that's love. And joy is another name for God. And you can call him whatever you like. You can call him a big cheeseburger in the sky if you want to. He really doesn't care. And I connect with Source. I connect with my mum. I connect with all sorts of different types of beings. And I connect you guys with those as well. So, we're all part of this divine matrix, this flower of life, this oneness, this interconnectedness, this synchronicity, and these and God incidences, as it says on this card here. We're all part of this one big web. And we all have the ability to be a medium. We all have the ability to connect with our own soul family, our own loved ones. I know that you do, Marie, and everybody else who works with me. Whether that's, who you connect with me, whether that's just through a conversation with me, whether it's through watching a YouTube, whether it's being in my Facebook group, whether it's coming and working with me one-to-one, whether that's being in a group, being in a room with me, I'm helping you to have an uplift. I'm helping you to connect with who you truly are. And I help you, if you want to be a medium and to connect with your own guides, with your own loved ones, with your higher self, with your soul family, with Source, with, some people do, deal with extraterrestrial types of guides and what have you. It's like, it's up to you. It's what's in your soul contract. It's what's your soul purpose. It's what's your mission, if you like. So it's interesting because as I'm saying this, there's people seem to be joining and then I'm not sure if they're staying or not, because I can see the numbers going up and then it goes back down again. So it's for some people, if they're just finding me or if they're not used to my energy is very, very high vibrational, high frequency. And so that can freak some people out. So they might not be able to kind of stay on alive or to hold that transmission. I know you can, Marie, because you work with me. And so if that's okay, and if that's you, it's nothing, it's nothing wrong or anything like that. It's just you have to adjust. So you have to kind of adjust your dial a wee bit. So we might need to do some little resonance kind of nervous system resets or little kind of resonance resets throughout, just because like the energy will be quite high. So just trust, and I'm very much been given that message to trust and allow. So allow the partnership, allow the love, allow the energy to flow and the emotions to flow if they're flowing, because again, it's partnership of all sorts and love of all kinds that we're flowing with and that we're connecting with. And so whether you watch this live now, or as I said at the start, when you watch this at any time, it's the right time for you. It's divine timing for you, and you will get the message that you're meant to get. Pardon me. So without further ado, because I've gone on quite a while as I do, let's go into the messages and reveal the messages for this week ahead. And technically it is, we're starting to go into the year ahead, the lunar year ahead, because as I say, that starts on the 17th, which is Tuesday. So this, reading covers that. So if you chose card number 1, and I don't know if you can remember, Marie, what numbers you chose. I know a few people chose 2 or 3 of the pairs, and they're all in pairs. So we've got, I've got the other deck here. So I've got 2 decks that I'm using. And let me just see. So I've got a brand new one that I just got the other day, and it was perfect. But I got them yesterday on Valentine's Day, so that's why it was perfect. So on Friday night, I did a live on my Facebook group, the Living the Best Life Soul Family, and we used these cards, the Connecting to the Truth of You cards, which are by my friend Sunyana Clark. She created those with her higher self, Thalia. And my higher self's name's Sandra, with an H on the end, by the way. I haven't introduced Sandra. You'd picked 3 and 6. Okay. Well, you picked 3, so you've only got 2 numbers there. So was it 1, 3, and 6 maybe? I'd chosen 6 cards after live on Friday night, but it was quite late, and I thought, I'll post them tomorrow. And then the postman came with these cards, and they're a beautiful deck, and it's the Roommate Oracle, and it says on the box, an invitation into the heart of the divine. And they give me a yes for that, and I was like, oh, that's very. It was funny when the postman came. I was joking, and I was going, "Oh, is this all my Valentine's cards?" Haha, because it's a long time since I've had a Valentine's card. And I was like, "Oh, it's heavy," kind of thing. And this is what it was. It was a deck that a friend was regifting, and so she'd regifted them to me. So I'm now gifting those messages on to you. So. And I went to sort of choose a card or a couple of cards, and 6 came out, and I was like, oh, well, they're obviously meant to pair up with the ones I've already got. So, just followed the nudges, followed the guidance. The team were giving me the breadcrumbs, as I say, and let's see. And I've not looked at them, and I'm going to probably have to read a bit from the book, and we'll channel as well. So for those of you who chose pair number 1, the truth card that you've got is, the truth is that hope is my superpower. And hope, so we have vortexes of energy, vortexes of emotion, which I work with, and so you might be familiar with the chakras, and though they're energy centers, they're emotional energy centers, and so they're actually called vortexes of emotion. And so we have our trust, which is in our throat. We have our love, which is at our heart center. That's the easiest one to remember. We have hope, which is at our solar plexus, below the bra strap for us ladies. We've got our truth vortex, which is below the belly button. So if you think about it, you've got your 3 brains, if you like. You've got your head, where you've got your pineal gland and your third eye in the center of your forehead. So those are actually, it's like a projector and a screen. And then you've got, as I say, so you've got that thinking brain up here, the human brain that fights with the divine all the time, that thinks that they should have control and they know better, and that, get us a little bit out of sync sometimes. And then we've got our heart brain, and then we've got our gut brain, if you like, our truth and our truth vortex. So that's kind of easiest way to remember those. We've got this one, which is useful for some things, and then we've got the heart and the truth, the gut, your intuition. And this is the ones we really want to lead with, not this one. We just keep that one for special occasions, for certain things where practicality is needed, and really we want to. We do it the other way around. We think, very occasionally I'll check in with my heart or my gut. You were swithering with 6, okay, and we need to be doing the other way around. We should be going to these ones first and then using that one last. Anyway, so hope is my superpower. That's that, and then at our base is your strength or your power vortex as well. So as I say, we've got 5. So we've got our power at the base, at our root. We've got our hope, our truth, which is at our belly button. We've got our hope, which is also where we connect with the divine, our unconscious gateway. We've got our love, our heart center, and then we've got our trust, which is what we're talking about. So when the human and the divine are fighting, then it's the trust we have to lean into, isn't it? So the truth is that hope is my superpower, is card number 1. And that also goes with this card, which is, and again, we've got lots of these chakra colours and lots of beautiful green in this card. It looks like somebody else has joined us. So if you're saying hello and you're staying on, do if you can comment and let me know so that we can see that you're watching and we know who's there, and we know what cards you've chosen. So Marie's commenting. And if you're not able to comment because of your device, whatever, it's fine. Just you can let us know afterwards. So this card came with Divine Mother Manifests, and she is number 15. So what I'm going to actually do is look at the number first of all, because we've got our angel numbers book as well, and then I'm going to look at the Rumi definition, and we'll see what that says. So the number 15, it's a bit like bingo, isn't it? Says, your changing thoughts are changing your life. And of course, it's the 15th today, isn't it? So that's very apt that we're starting with 15. I've just realised that. And also 15th of January is my birthday as well. So your changing thoughts are changing your life. Align your awareness and energy with thoughts that lift you. And this morning, I'm being reminded that this morning or to be honest, all day, but this morning in particular, I always like to listen to something or listen to a guided meditation or do a silent meditation. And I always tune in with my divine team, my unseen team, first thing in the morning before I get out of bed. And this morning I did a bit of a meditation, and then I listened to, I was nudged to listen to something on YouTube, which was Suzanne Giesemann talking with her team of guides, her collective, Sanaya. And they rather were talking about the I am presence, and they were talking about we're all awareness being. And it's being part of that one consciousness and that perspective, being able to see through the eyes of the divine or the eyes of the soul rather than the eyes of the human. So that's very apt that we've got Divine Mother Manifest, and we've got that additional guidance from the angel numbers that align your awareness and energy with thoughts that lift you. So let's also see with the Rumi card what the little Rumi poem is, if you like. There's quite a lot of detailed guidance here, but we don't want to be on for 3 years. So let's just go with the overall, and we get the overall message from this pair. So Divine Mother Manifest says, "O you living in the world of 6 directions, accept the gloom and accept the bliss. For those seeds buried in the ground will one day grow into fruitful orchards." And it says, there's a little bit here that says, "We share her, the Divine Mother, you and I." And of course, we've already connected with my mum, haven't we? So this is very, very apt that we've got this card up first, actually. "You and I, we are her precious children. We are born through her love, and she shares in our losses and our gains, our tragedies and our triumphs." And I'm very much about sharing in your tragedies and triumphs and learning, and giving me a yes, and that we learn from our tragedies, and we learn to actually transform what we've thought of as our tragedies into triumphs, because they actually contain the seeds of our triumphs, our challenges, our treasure. I've got different ways of talking about that, but it's basically everything that we see as we've seen as a tragedy in our life, like me losing my dad 25 years ago, losing my mum 3 years ago now. Yes, for that. And those were tragedies. It was particularly when my dad died, and we had no warning. And so he went out the door and had a heart attack and died. And we then had to cope with that. And so that was a tragedy at the time and a trauma. However, I now see that as part of his soul contract. It was his choice to go at that time, and it was my choice. And really, I also see that as like the ultimate gift of love, that he did that so that I could learn to be on the path that I'm on, and that so the mum and I could have that experience and so on. And that's why we're still connected, because we all agreed to be part of each other's soul contract, if you like. So this says, "Her hair forms the galaxies, her thoughts become the stars. The sun is her own warmth, and her breath is felt upon this earth, causing the roar of the ocean waves. Her voice is heard in the call of the whales and the trill of the birds. She is all nurturing life into existence. She is in my reaching for you, and she's in your acceptance of my divine hand. She is all this great lady. Nothing lies outside of her sphere of influence and power, compassion and grace. That includes you and your dreams, great and small, my angel of love." And how perfect is that? Because like I was saying earlier on, we are here for a sacred soul purpose. And we may know what that is, or have an inkling, or have felt it in the past, or you may still feel as if, well, I'm here to find this out, and she wants to show you. And to me, she's also got, it's Divine Mother, which is like God's mother, and also it's like Mother Earth, and getting a yes for that, because we're talking about the soil and the fruitfulness and the flourishing of your seeds, and we plant seeds. So for you, they got this truth as well, that the truth is hope is my superpower. And you might have felt hopeless a lot of times throughout your life with those tragedies, but actually when you can transform those memories from fear to love, when you can see that they were a triumph, they were the reason why you triumphed, those things that were the most difficult and most challenging in your life actually have given you the most strength, have actually given you the most power, have actually given you the most lived experience. And that's what love wants to show you. That's what you wanted to learn from love, and that's what this period in time wants to show you. So, and it's also Divine Mother Mary as well, like Jesus's mother. So it's kind of all those mothers, and our earth mothers, our physical mothers, and all of that energy combined. So what a beautiful explosion of love that you've got from these two cards. So just lean into that and maybe journal on that, or do a little bit of exploration, of deeper exploration of that yourself. And I'm getting a yes to do that. And I do have a special journal that you can purchase from me, or you can get when you work with me, in a couple of ways. So if any of you are watching and interested in that, then do reach out to me about the Flip the Script journal, and Marie can talk about the power of that. As I say, she uses that one. But if you've got a journal that you like to use, then do do some connection with that in meditation or exploration in any other way. So pair number 2, we have got is, and your truth is, the truth is that I am so very loved. So again, it's a love stream, and the messages are all about love, because really what we're talking about with this period of the last sort of 6 months or so, or the last year or so, when you've been doing all the shedding in the year of the snake, and that's been really difficult and challenging for a lot of us. So again, those triumphs and trials and triumphs sort of thing, all those trials and all those difficult shedding that's is to make space for the love, to make space for the divine love to flow through you, for that source to flow through you and you to flow through them, and to do what you're here to do, what you love to do. So it's about having fun. It's about, pardon me, playing energy shifting as I'm talking about this. It's about being who you came here to be, and expanding and experiencing outrageous joy. And that's really what all of our purpose is. So with that, the truth is I am so very loved. And also your Rumi card is number 25, and it says beyond the threshold of fear. And so of course that's what I was talking about, is like we see all these difficult experiences that we've had throughout our lifetime as fearful things, as terrible things, as tragedies, as trauma. Like, as I say, when my dad died, and it was so unexpected, and actually it was a Sunday evening that he died. And I'd been to mum and dad's for dinner, and it was just actually just down the road here, because again, I've moved now nearer back now to my childhood home than I ever was. So I've kind of gone full circle in that way. And they give me a yes for that. So I'm like, oh, I'm meant to be telling all this story, but these are all the story of my life, and it's the story of, what you'll have a similar story as well if you chose this card and these cards. So so we were having dinner on a Sunday evening, and mum and I were chatting, and my dad always went to visit his sister, and he's like, right, I'm gonna wait to see your Aunt May, and it was like, all right, bye dad, see you later. And then the next time I saw him, a few hours later, unfortunately, he was in the morgue because he'd had a heart attack and died. And so, that was so fearful. It was a really traumatic experience. And we didn't know how to deal with the grief because it was so sudden and so unexpected. And so we did that very, I was, deeply, deeply emotional, but also my mum was very much one of these, like, stiff upper lip, you've got to kind of keep calm and carry on sort of thing. And after a couple of weeks, it's like, right, you need to get back to your work, you need to get back to your routine. You can't just sit about here, weeping and wailing all day. To be honest, I resent, I'm getting a yes for that, to say I did resent her for that for a long time. because I felt like, oh, well, you know, I shut down my grief. I didn't get to express it. I didn't get to wallow in it now, when I say it now, actually. But it was the right thing, but it also, you know, it felt very difficult. So Marie's saying journal definitely helped me focus on set intentions, and in doing so, I managed to change my life in a very short period of time. Well, thank you. And so notice how my hands, as I've been talking about this now, I've gone into like a partnership mode. I've gone into kind of gratitude mode. And so now, with the benefit of hindsight and the perspective and the amount of work I've done, and you know, the love that I've given myself and the love that I've been able to reconnect with, I realised the precious gift in that, but I didn't at the time. So it's like, the truth is, you are so very loved. And let's look at this, Rumi, beyond the threshold of fear, because that was just a little bit of my experience of that. And we'll see how that all comes together. So we've got the 25. Enter the lion's jungle. Don't think about getting hurt. Fearful thoughts are phantoms of the mind. No one is harmed in this jungle. Everything is compassion and love. It is your fear holding you back, like a bar behind the door. And actually, what this reminds me of as well is, I talk a lot about the hero's journey, and that's by Joseph Campbell. And Marie's saying, yes, when my dad was terminally ill, I was made to stay at work and in routine. And after 2 weeks off, was being told to go back to work. Don't think I've processed the loss properly, but I had a year to prepare for it. And this is thank you. That is the difference when we have a year to prepare for it. And it's still tragic and traumatic when it does actually happen, but it is a bit easier knowing that it's coming. And that certainly, even though we only had a couple of months with my mum, not even that really. It still did make it a little bit easier, and it meant that what I was able to do with my mum was to thank you, to sit by her side and to help her to pass over, and that brought a lot of ease. It brought a lot of peace to me, and that was a gift and a blessing to be able to do that, to ease her journey and to help her to evolve and to easily kind of go through the pearly gates, if you like, and do that life review on the other side. And it eased her transition. And it eased it for me as well. And so I went, and yes, I did still fear that moment, but I went beyond the threshold of fear in that moment. So this says, how I celebrate for you. After so long away from home, you are finally returning. And that's it, because when our loved ones are going home, they're going, you know, they are going home. When they transition, they are going home. And they're delighted to go home. They're celebrating. They're like free from pain, and you know, it's freedom for them, and it's the best thing ever, you know, because they can go back to who they truly are. They can go back to being loved. They go back to being non-physical. They're you know, they're not having the aches and pains of being 80 odds and having cancer or what have you. I know your dad wasn't that age, but you know what I mean? Like, and it's their choice as well. And that's one thing I should really say as well, is that everyone, you know, the human wants to control, and we think, you know, we're trying to control our life every day, and then we realize when we relax and let go, actually better things happen. And really, the one choice that we do have as a human is, it's our soul's choice. As a human and a soul, it's our soul's choice when we go home. And that's really important to know as well, is that, like, it was my dad's choice, it was my mum's choice, it was your dad's choice. And it's our human that feels that distance, that feels the tragedy of that, if you like, the trauma of that. But actually, it was their choice. And when we can recognise that and see the gift in that and see the blessing in that and see that that was part of their soul contract and ours, it's so much easier. You know what I mean? It just brings that blessed relief. So you are finally returning. Beyond the threshold of fear, you dispense with your doubts, hesitations, cautions, and tentativeness. They are old friends, and with whom you have no longer anything in common. And so that's it. That's what we're letting go of in this year of the snake as well. And this is why we can go into 2026, into the Lunar New Year, into the year of the Firehorse, without, you know, these burdens weighing us down anymore. We go into this threshold. So it says, goodbye, old friends, I wish you well. So it's like, thanks for the lessons, see you, wouldn't want to be you. Whilst turning your face to the burgeoning light of a new and yet ancient world. You are visiting as though for the first time, and yet also remember deep in your sacred heart. And that's it. It's that journey of remembrance. It's that like, coming home to me. I'm back to who I was always meant to be. And so we don't have to wait until we reach the pearly gates for that to happen. We can do that now. We can experience this now. And that's what's being offered to us now. And that's what we're on the threshold of now. And also it says, finally, we can sit together in the charming courtyard at home. We shall tell our tales of adventure and laugh, and we'll dance and sing. Eventually, day shall pass into night, and we'll gaze beneath our feet, our mouths gaping open in awe, and minds utterly blank, rendered dumb in sweet submission and beauty as we watch the world spinning on her axis. And again, it leads on beautifully, as these messages always do, from that first card with the mother's love and divine mother and Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, Sali. And so we get to be in awe, we get to be in that awake awareness and witness the wonder and embody that. And so that's a beautiful card as well. And I need to look at the 25, which is, bear with. Your angels want you to trust that all your hard work and commitment will pay off. Soon you will enjoy the fruits of your labour. And of course, that ties beautifully with the initial bit about the fruits and the flourishing of our fruits in their garden and the seeds that were planted, which was the beginning of that message. So, of course, that makes perfect sense as well. Wait to see, let me take another drink. I've chucked water down myself just to lighten the mood a little bit. So thanks, team. Thanks, guys, for making me do that. But anyway, card number 3, which you wanted, Marie. So you have got the dissolving light. So you've got it's a beautiful blinding light pretty much on that card, isn't it? Like a meditator there. So you're being encouraged to meditate. And actually to see, like, it's like the treasure chest within you, I want to say, on that card. And it's a bit like as well, in the collective, in our Flip the Script collective, which is our spiritual development group that we have, which is another way you can work with me beyond, being in the soul family, for example, or watching me here. It is stunning, isn't it? And I'll share pictures later on, obviously, on Facebook and so on. And what I was going to say about that is, Annie was talking to us about the flower of life, and that's the one that I showed earlier on this card here, the divine matrix, that interconnected web. And so it's actually a bit like, you probably can't see it that well on here, but if you look at kind of almost like the mat or the carpet under their feet, if you like, it is like that flower of life and that interconnectedness and that weaving together. So let's see. So this is number 3. This actually is number 3 as well, the dissolving light. So I didn't actually know that because I've only just turned these over now. I didn't even look at them when we pulled them. And it says, the truth is that I am ready to learn. So, of course, it's like learning to meditate, learning to connect, learning to evolve, learning to embody, learning to be a medium, and connect with our loved ones, our soul family, and beyond if we choose to do that. So card number 3, we'll look at the number first, and then I'll look at the book. So this says, the number 3 says, you are on the road to growth and expansion, which of course we've talked about. We're connecting with that. And it said the path is unfolding with perfect timing. And of course, we are all on our one true path, our soul path, which is what I'm talking about. With our soul contract, we have our soul path, our promise to history, if you like, that we decided that we would do when we came here, which is what we spoke about in the beginning. So let's see what Rumi has to add to this message, which is your first one, Marie. So the dissolving light says, I died as mineral and became a plant. I died as plant and rose to animal. I died as animal and I became human. Why should I fear anything when I was ever less by dying? When was I, sorry, I'll say that again. When was I ever less by dying? So in other words, like, I've got flowers on my table here and I'm looking at the flowers and it's like, well, the flowers die to become compost, to go back to the earth, to be part of that cycle of life, and as do any of us, So it says, dare to take my hand and become set alight with holy fire, my cherished one. Step forward with me, let us burn together dissembled in the light that cannot be extinguished. So that is that beautiful light that you can feel and see. And of course, that's like the Firehorse energy as well, isn't it? That we're going into that fire. And it says, this is the light that burns with such incandescent truth that no falsehood can withstand its audacious vibrancy. Come with me now to the light. Together we shall melt into truth. And that's it. And the truth is that I am ready to learn. And that's the truth that you're melting into. So you're ready to learn how to learn and to teach, because we always teach what we learn, and we learn what we teach. You know what I mean? Like, so whatever it is that I know you have a powerful mission and message about, for your own experience, like your alopecia and people who are going through similar things. You shared a beautiful video. Well, I saw it today on Instagram, Instagram. I think you made it yesterday on Valentine's Day, didn't you? So that was you leaning into your purpose and following your soul path by doing that. And of course, you're inviting other people to do that and to learn from you, and you will learn from them in turn as well. So that's a beautiful message to get for you for your first one. So those of you that chose card number 3 or pair number 3, you have got this, and you'll all have your own particular lesson that you're and truth that you'll be, tuning into with that as well. So I encourage you with all of these to lean into them more and to learn more about them for yourself, and to tune in with your higher self and your guides. And if you're not sure how to do that and you want to learn some techniques how to do that, then again, drop me a message, give me a hashtag replay, or send me a message, on YouTube, on Facebook, on any of the channels, any of the ways that you can connect with me or that we are already connected, so that you can find out more, and I'll give you a freebie to help you to do that as well. So Marie, would you mind reminding me afterwards to do that? Be my physical helper to do that, because you know what I'm like, get my mind like a sieve at times. So card number 4, again, is a beautiful card following on, and it's Sacred Union. And so that's a beautiful partnership with the divine, and also romantic partnership, which again, this is a love stream, and it's the Valentine's Day love stream. Will do, thank you. Between us, we'll get there. So that's a stunning card as well, and that bodes well for romantic love and those kind of partnerships, as well as the holy divine ones that were talked about earlier on. And the truth that goes with this one is, the truth is, I am ready for change. And of course, in order to whether we're already in a partnership, like a love match, if you like, a marriage, a relationship, and that kind of partnership, or the other types of partnerships that we're talking about, if we're already partnered up, it's like it's telling you that there's a new a new way to reconnect, a new way to love, a new way to bond, if you like, and I give my yes for that in that partnership. And if you're single and ready to mingle, then it's like getting ready to have that. And equally, before that happens, we need to tune into self-love. We need to love ourselves first. And I think you've been coming to this realization as well, Marie, that it's all about self-love. It's all about self-awareness. And when you can, make that your primary focus, make yourself number one, choose from love for you first, as you know, and make those sort of choices, then we don't accept the same old, and we attract a divine partnership, and that way a sacred union, as the card says. So it's 19. So let's see what the number says for that one. And it says, it's okay for you to be powerful. You're being guided by heaven to take ownership of your current situation. And let's see what Rumi has to say about this one as well. Because these are beautiful cards and beautiful messages. So let me get to the right page. Sacred union. Only the oneness of love and the lover is eternal. Surrender your heart into this union, for all else in this world is momentary. And that's what we're really talking about with this sacred union. And I share this as well. I teach this as well, that we are all the source of eternal love, of perpetual love, of endless love, however you want to describe it. That it is not just cyclical, but you know what I mean. It's eternal. It's unending, and that's why, because of that eternal love that for example we have for certain members of family, not all, but certain members that are on that have signed that, entered into that sacred soul contract with us. That's why we can still connect with them. That's why we chose them and they chose us, you know, that we're to be part of that eternal family and that eternal love. And that's, you know, how it goes on. So this says, stupefied with bliss, I become without thought. There is no grief in that loss. I gladly surrender my intelligence in favour of this mindlessness. It is ecstasy, rapture. And I'm smiling at rapture as well, because rapture is one of my gifts, one of my energetic gifts, in ways that I help you connect and switch on and activate your rapture activating system as well, so that you can, you know, use your unique gifts, your hearing, seeing, feeling, sensing, knowing, and activate them and enhance them and enliven them, enrich them. And so that's how you connect with your soul family, with your loved ones as well, through the rapture. So that says, I gladly surrender my intelligence in favour of this mindlessness. It's ecstasy, rapture. The sweetness of the union, so sacred, overwhelms my senses. And we talk about overwhelm as being, you know, like me having some emotions there earlier on. And previously I would have got stuck in that overwhelm and let it overwhelm me and being like, oh, woe is me, and you know, crying for however long. Actually, I don't need, as you can see, I don't need to do that now, because yes, I can feel the overwhelming love that's in that. And then with that, I can just be like, and it's love, and I accept it and allow it in. And I'm not holding it off. I'm not fearing it. I'm not, you know, trembling at its, you know, at the sight kind of thing. So it says, the sweetness of the union, so sacred, overwhelms my senses. And it's like in a good way with that love, and we just let it flow. And if there's emotions flow, that's good, because it's a release, and it's a sweet relief, you know. And it says, the lover and the beloved are my world. Nothing else exists except this love, this unity of divine masculine and feminine. And that's what the sacred union is. It's divine masculine and feminine. And when we can step into our divine and like step out of the human, I'll ask the human to step aside. I give a big yes for that. Step into our divine embodiment. That's when we can invite in the divine love and that beautiful sacred partnership here as well. Because we have to be able to give and receive, and not just overgive and overdo, overthink, and all the rest of it, and then, you know, self-sabotage ourselves, which we often do. So that's been my journey lately. It's very much like stepping back and being able to receive as well as to give, and not have to automatically go, oh, well, I've learnt this thing, so I've got to share it, I've got to do it. It's like you're allowed to just receive it for yourself and have that journey as well. So it says, and the fresh new universe that shall be born from their sacred conjoining. So I'll say that again. Nothing else exists except this love, this unity. And I teach unity, and I have another capability called Unify. That's the one, again, another one that we use as a medium, as a, you know, a bridge to the divine, if you like. So I'm just loving all the rapture and the unity and the awe and everything that's within this message. So this unity of divine masculine and feminine, and the fresh new universe that shall be born from their sacred conjoining. So when you learn to embody your divine masculine and your divine feminine, to give and receive, that's when you have this sacred union within yourself. It begins even now, between my body and my spirit, and in yours, and in his over there, and that woman passing by. All creation in sacred rapturous embrace. So shocking and wild, this frenzy of loving delight without limits. And that's that limitless love that they're talking about. Let us be swept away, my beloved, in the passionate loving that renders duality into one and tips the mind into empty ecstasy. And this is it, because we all have those dualities and polarities, like we've been talking about throughout this reading, that we're ready for change, and that's what we get to change, is that those things that as I say, that were our tragedies, our traumas, etc., or that have been, like for me, I didn't realise that I had ADHD, for example, that I had, you know, neurodevelopmental gifts. And even when I did realise it was such a gift, because it was then like, oh, I see why I got stuck in the grief. I see why I found it hard to overcome that, to you know, get past it. But I didn't need to get past it. I needed to accept it and see it as the gift that it was, and see it as that divine union and that ecstasy. And that's what changed things for me. So I won't go on too much about that, because we have been here for a while, been here for an hour now. However, it's like that's the thing that changes your life, and that's the thing that transforms, and that's the thing that allows you to give and receive and to recognize the gifts in that. So card number 5, or pair number 5, is number 13, Arise. And so you've got a beautiful, this person looks as if they're kind of sitting in darkness, but still in the kind of fear, but also they've got their beautiful angel there, inviting them to arise and inviting them to come out of the dark. And with that one, you've got the truth is that I have purpose. So we've been talking about purpose all along, and that I'm a soul purpose activator. So let's see what this has to share. And this is number 13. So Friday was the 13th, and some people have a fear of Friday the 13th. And the again, that's like a learned belief sort of thing, like a myth, or what's the word? It's a learned behaviour sort of thing, is to go, oh, Friday the 13th, when actually it's the day of the goddess, and it can be really lucky. So it says, trust that the steps on your path are unfolding as they should and are serving your expansion. And again, that's what we've been talking about all along, really, isn't it? So Rumi says, let's find Arise in here. And Arise says, wings of hope languish from lack of use. When wings dissipate and weaken, life begins to lose its value. Every cell in your body is created to rise to challenges. Your life is meant to confront everything that holds you captive. And that's really what we've been talking about, is that we've been held captive long enough. That's what we've been shedding throughout the year of the snake, and that's what we're arising from into the year of the Firehorse. So it says, your life is meant to confront everything that holds you captive. Don't sit at the bottom of the well, not caring about salvation. Listen to the voice within calling to you. Reach for eminence beyond your own maturity. And how beautiful is that? And so that's really it. Along with that, the truth is that I have purpose. As I said earlier on, so you maybe weren't here earlier on, or just to it bears repeating that we have two purposes, really. So we have our purpose to be in service to the divine, so that sacred union, and then our secondary purpose is how we fulfill that mission, and that's the one that can change and evolve, and that's the one that we often feel like I have purpose or I have meaning, and that like I have to be a carer, I have to be a nurse or a doctor or a healer or this types of thing. Actually, your purpose can be to be an artist, can be to be a mum, can be to be, the best human that you can be, the best sister, mother, whatever. It doesn't have to be, to go and write a book and change the world, or do it can be if you want it to be, and it can be all of those things. It can be both and, but it doesn't have to be a great big thing. It can just be to feel that overwhelming joy, to feel that love. And to let go of the dark and let go of those limiting beliefs. And that can be your purpose. And when you do that and you share that with others, that's the thing that changes it for that person passing by, or that man over there, and the things that it said in there as well. So it's like when you see your way out of the dark, you can do it for yourself, and that might be all that you want to do, but primarily the chances are you will want to share it with others. It might be you share it with others in terms of the person that you speak to, the person that you sit next to at work, or that you meet on the, every day on the bus or on the train, or, in a coffee shop, or things like that. That can be your purpose as well. It's just like you loving you, and you fulfilling that, and letting go of that fear, letting go of that darkness, and letting your angel guide you, and letting love in. That can be your purpose. And it can be that you share that with your kids, your grandkids, your pets, and your neighbourhood. And that can be purpose as well. So, card number 6, pair number 6, and the truth is a very good truth to get. It says, the truth is that I can start again. So isn't that perfect? Because we're getting the chance with the Lunar New Year, starting on Tuesday, the 17th, to start again, to erase all those things, to take all those lessons and the shedding that we've done, and the things that we're no longer here for, and to move into the Firehorse energy with momentum. And I do have a masterclass next Thursday, the 19th, which I will briefly share with you at the end as well, and I'll share details afterwards. I'm going like that. I'll share it in the comments, and share it when I share the broadcast. I'll share how you can sign up to that. And I think you've probably already signed up to that, Marie, but anybody else watching can do that as well. And if you can't join us live, you can sign up and you'll get the replay, so you'll still be part of it. It's like this: if you can be on the live and take part, then you benefit all the more because you're actually co-creating it with me. But even by setting the intention to be there and be part of it, you're still co-creating it. You're energetically part of that you're in the mix as well. So trust that you'll get the message with, and that's for you. So we've got a beautiful card to finish with, and I think you said you chose number 6 as well. You were swithing about number 6. Well, this is why you chose number 6. So it's the lover and the beloved. So we've already had the sacred union, and this feels like it's the lover, the romantic partnership, the physical one, and the beloved is the divine as well. So this is where we get to have it all. So. And of course, this is a romantic, it's a Valentine's Day. Ooh, I'm saying ooh as well. I'm looking forward to seeing this one myself as well. And that's why, that's why they get to start again as well. Because like I said earlier on, we can start again in a partnership we're already in. We can start again to renew our vows, to renew our love, to renew our relationship. Or we can start again and with that love of ourselves and with that shedding the need to repeat cycles and the need to repeat old patterns, then that's how we can start again, and we can attract the love that we actually deserve and the love that we desire and deserve. So this is 35. So let's look at that first, and then we'll do the roommate, and then we'll just wrap up. We'll just do a quick recap for the benefit of the rest of the audience kind of thing. So it says, your angels and guides are ready to support you through any changes you need to make to be more at ease. And of course, we need to be at ease with ourselves, as we've been saying. We need to we need to, to transform how we view ourselves in order to see ourselves through that beautiful mirror and to see ourselves as the divine see us. So I want to quote Burns now as well and say, would someone the gift to give us to see ourselves as others see us? And that's how the divine sees us. They see us as perfect. They see us as whole. They see us as complete. They see us as an angel, as a beloved, and when we can see ourselves like that, and love ourselves in that way and make those choices from love for us first, that's when we can, unite with our beloved, because we can attract that and magnetize that and feel worthy of that. So 35. And I probably said all this before we get to it, but let's just see what the actual confirmation is. So Rumi says, when you move beyond consciousness, you caress the beloved. When you move into the unknown beyond everything, the beloved caresses you. And that's really what we're saying. When we can move beyond that human consciousness, trying to control everything and sort of seeing ourselves as unworthy, or seeing ourselves as, oh, well, I'll keep repeating these patterns, or I keep doing this. We get to change that now. We get to start again. That's the truth. The truth is I can start again. So it says, it is not enough to love me. I want you to allow me to love you. It is not enough to desire me, to want to be closer to me. I want you to reach out to you and grab a hold of you. Sorry, I'm pointing at you, but that's what they want me to do. Drawing you into me and never letting you be apart from me again. There is so much more for us to experience, you and me, than simply gazing, even with love, at each other from a distance. Let me take you into my arms. Let me hold you until we cease to know or care where you and I were once you and I. For instead, we will be one. Will you allow it? Will you allow me? Will you allow us to be? And that's it. It's the divine, it's the great beloved having a passionate desire for you to love you. And that's what we've really been talking about all the way through. And for you, as I say, to see yourselves as they see you. And then like to say yes to that union, to that sweet love, to allow yourself to receive. It's the giving and receiving, like we said. And there is divine encouragement in taking risks that feel wild and alive to your heart, it says here as well. So let's recap the whole message, because we always get a story from all the cards together. So the first pair was, the truth is that hope is my superpower, and we got the divine mother manifests. So we're getting some help from divine mother, from Sally, from love, from Mother Mary as well, from our all types of mothers, from God God's mother as well. So all the mothering energy, and feeling the absolute love and beauty of that, and feeling the hope in that. And actually, as I look at this card again, that yellow is that's your hope vortex. And so a lot of you who are watching this on replay will actually be feeling something in your hope vortex, might feel that igniting, might feel that warm yellow sunshine love, and feel something shifting there. And some of you might feel like, ooh, I'm not sure about how that, it might feel a bit uncomfortable, like I said, because it's that high vibrational energy, but it's that allowing it in, and letting her help you allow that hope in and allow that love in. And when you flow hope and love together, then you'll invite balance, then you invite ease. And again, if you'd like to know how to do that, reach out to me and I'll teach you that one, or I'll share something with you that can help you do that. Then card number 2, or pair number 2, beyond the threshold of fear. Excuse me. The truth is that I am so very loved. So again, it's like seeing beyond those tragic circumstances, and that when we can go beyond that threshold of fear, that's when we can invite in love, and we can invite in that divine love, which is really what the whole reading is about. It's a love stream, and that's what the whole messages are about. And then we got card number 3, which was the dissolving light, which was allowing ourselves to dissolve into that oneness and that divine matrix, that flower of life, that interconnectedness, that oneness, that synchronicity, that synthesis, and that, being one with God, being one with the divine. And the truth with that one is, the truth is that I am ready to learn. So perhaps you need to learn to make meditation, or, meditation can just be, meditation can be out walking in nature and feeling the beauty of that and feeling the oneness of that. Meditation doesn't need to be sitting on a pillow if that's not for you. Actually, for me, and as I say, I do make the space to meditate and to connect, and make that a sacred space, make that a non-negotiable, to do that every morning, and also do it in other ways throughout the day too. So, it's ready to learn what works for you as well. So that's card number 3, or pair number 3. Then pair number 4 is the sacred union. So again, the giving and receiving, the masculine and feminine, the receiving the divine as well, and the angelic love as well. As well as it's the masculine and feminine, the giving and receiving, really that harmony and that union. And that says the truth is that I'm ready for change. So again, this is the whole theme of the reading. We have to be ready for change. We have to change how we see ourselves, and see ourselves in that way, and be able to receive as well as to give, because probably throughout your whole life you've been a giver, you've been a people pleaser, and now it's like, oh, I get to receive as well. People get to give love to me and give things to me, and I get to go thank you, rather than trying to deflect or have to feel worthy. Do you know what I mean? And then we've got arise, and also the truth is that I have purpose. So again, we talked about your main purpose is to be in service to the divine, and then your purpose can be many things, and you get to choose what that is, and you get to, and it often does arise from your dark times, from your tragedies, and you get to transform that into a triumph, and that's what gets to bring the change, to bring the purpose, and to let you see, well, actually, this is my purpose. Like me, I have an aptitude for helping people with grief, and I've always kind of shied away from that. And actually, I get to do that more and more in different ways. And again, that doesn't have to be heavy. It can be light. It can just be me going and sitting with somebody and having a cup of tea with them, and sharing memories of their loved ones, if that's all they want to do. If you want to do more than that, if you want to reconnect with your loved one, like I said earlier on, and have me be that bridge, and have me be that medium, and also help you to connect with them directly yourself, because that's what I help you to do. It's not just, you don't have to just come to me and get a reading. You come to me and you learn how to connect with them directly yourself. So again, if you're interested in learning how to do that, reach out to me and I'll tell you there's several different ways that you can do that. And I did post in the Facebook group earlier as well about different ways that we might be looking to do that, whether that's in person and online, because I work online, and I am being drawn to work more and more in person. And so with this type of work, if we do it in person, I think you said you were interested in that, Marie. When we do it in person, then it expands so much more rapidly, and it's the magic is exponentially enhanced. But also we can do it online as well. So we'll see what the opportunities are for that. So the last one, card number 6, yes, definitely interested. Cool. So we'll put it out there and see if we get enough numbers to make that viable kind of thing. And could certainly do a monthly connection online. However, I really would like to do it in person as well. So we'll put that out there to the universe and get our teams to work on it. And so the last one was the lover and the beloved. So like the romantic partnership and being one with the beloved and seeing ourselves as the beloved sees us. And then that way we can attract our beloved, or we can re-attract our beloved for those of us that are in partnerships and that feel like, Valentine's Day is just a thing. It's not really, maybe we've got a bit jaded or what have you, but you can reinvigorate your love life with that as well. And that is the truth, as I can start again. So again, we can start again to set out our stall to say, this is what I want, this is what I expect. And it's about expectations, because when we energetically expect to be loved, to be respected, to be met with a match, then that's where you start to magnetize that and magnify that to yourselves and attract that. And so beautiful readings. Thank you, Marie, for being definitely interested. Thank you for being my glamorous assistant. Thank you for reminding me whatever it was I asked you to remind me earlier on. Between the two of us, we'll remember. And thank you to those of you who watch on replay. I know there was a couple of people watching and maybe couldn't comment. So do let me know afterwards if you watched, if you enjoyed it and what you took away from it. If you watched this afterwards, thank you for being my partner tonight. My partner in crime, my partner in love. So this has been the love stream for the week beginning the 15th of February, leading into the Firehorse. As I said, a lot of that was what I was going to remember. Thank you, team. Next Thursday is the Firehorse, Firepower Masterclass, if you like, which is taking you from feeling like you had to protect yourself so it's kind of going from that protection into your Firehorse identity, into the momentum, into the projection, into the beloved, everything that was spoken about tonight. That really is the theme of now seeing, okay, here's the things that I've the cycles and the patterns that I'm completely ready to let go of, and here's what I'm here for, and these are the things that we're actually here for that we've been chatting about tonight. So if you want to delve into that more, that's the perfect way to start. It's a free masterclass. It's next Thursday night at 7 p.m. on Zoom. I will put the link to sign up in the comments here, or when I share the live everywhere, the live stream everywhere, I'll share that link with it so that you can check that out. As I say, I also have a Facebook group, the Living Your Best Life Soul Family Facebook group, so I can share that link as well to those of you who aren't already in there. If you've loved this love stream and you want to see more content like this, and you would like to see interviews and various different types of podcasts and content that I share, do like and subscribe so you'll get notified about those and you'll see those. I feel like there was a third thing I want to say. Oh yes, the collective. If you would like to join a development group where you actually get to step into your own abilities, you get to get access to the Flip the Script iconic journal that we spoke about. You get to have a leadership playground where you develop your own abilities and you enhance your own abilities, and you get to develop those. There are a couple of ways that you can do that. So I've got an immersive coming up starting 2 weeks tonight, actually, which again is going to be the Flip the Script immersive, the 7-day Firehorse experience, which again will be that identity shift from fear to love, basically, but the identity shift from, I want to say, protection to perfection, but we're not about being perfect, but we are about being who we're meant to be, and about being that the teacher, the healer, the lover, the leader, who we came here to be, we came into this lifetime to be. So that's what we get to reveal, that identity, and to unmask as that, and to step into that. And if you want to learn how to be a medium, if you like, then that's the bridge towards that. That's your first step towards that. And when I'm talking about being a medium, it's just like, to do it for your own purposes. And if you want to do it wider, then of course, if that's your path, then that's what will unfold for you. I've got people who have done them before, like Marie, who's on a journey sharing her mission. And I've got other people who have changed their life, have left their corporate job fully now and stepping into coaching, like mindfulness coaching for kids and counselling for people with anxiety and things like that. So they've left the jobs that weren't really them, but they were their training ground, and now they're doing what they were really meant to do. So they've stepped into their purpose as well as a result of having done previous immersives. And you might have seen my interview with Katie McGreal, who she didn't really change jobs, but she changed countries. And now she's stepping into her purpose on a whole different level as well. So again, if you want to find out about any of these success stories, this is the place to follow that and find out more about that as well. So watch this space for that. As I say, I'll share all the links for the different ways that you can connect, or the waiting list, so that you can sign up for some of these experiences that like the in-person and the immersive. Because I've not quite created the link to sign up and join that, but you can sign up, you can join a wait list and sort of hit the button for that, get your name on the waiting list for that, so that whenever it's ready, you're first in the queue for that, because we do keep that one fairly small, because it's a beautiful group and it's a beautiful synthesis and connection and union of everyone that comes into that, and a sort of partnership. So you're seeing we've got like the kind of, it's like, here's the, what is it? Here's my hands, here's the steeple, here's the church, and here's the people, or something like that. So we get the people that are meant to come together for that experience, and the expansion and everything that comes with that. And as I say, Marie's done that a couple of times now, and she'll be talking about that shortly, about the Lionsgate portal one that she did about 6 months ago, and everything that's happened for her since then. So with that, I will love you and leave you, and I'll go and share these links rather than talking about them. And any questions, any thoughts, any comments, share your comments afterwards and let me know. And if you want to get involved in any of these experiences, let me know about that as well, and I'll happily share your details so that you can do that. All right, lots and lots of love for you. I hope that you've enjoyed this experience, this latest love stream, and do come back for more the next time, and I will see you then. Lots of love. Bye for now.